Welcome to our U.S. briefing show, folks. Today, we're kicking things off with a bang as President Donald Trump launches a year-long celebration of America's 250th independence anniversary right in Iowa. The event is packed with patriotic displays, fireworks, and performances, all aimed at fostering unity in these polarized times. Imagine fireworks lighting up the sky and Lee Greenwood singing patriotic tunes. What a way to start. Next up, a heated debate within the GOP over AI regulation. A proposed 10-year ban on state AI laws almost made it into a big tax bill, but fierce conservative opposition led to its removal. The split reflects a larger fight over whether to let states regulate AI or to set federal standards, an ongoing tug-of-war that could shape America's tech future for years to come. Finally, we dive into the fascinating story of Diddy, Harlem's own music mogul who rose from tough beginnings to become a cultural icon. But his journey hasn't been without drama, legal challenges, allegations, and a high-profile trial. Despite the ups and downs, Diddy remains a symbol of resilience and ambition, embodying Harlem's vibrant evolution. Please continue to stay tuned for more detailed stories. The AP reports from Washington that President Donald Trump is launching a year-long celebration to commemorate America's 250th birthday, beginning with a grand event in Iowa. This celebration aims to unite a deeply divided nation through patriotic displays, music, and fireworks, symbolizing hope for national cohesion amid the country's polarization. The event's location in Iowa, a pivotal state supporting Trump in recent elections, underscores the importance of bringing Americans together across political lines, especially considering recent polls showing a significant partisan divide in patriotism. Trump himself has emphasized the grandeur of the celebration, linking it to a broader effort to foster civic pride and shared values, even as his approval ratings remain divided and contentious political issues continue to challenge national unity. Yahoo US highlights the internal conflicts within the Republican Party over AI regulation, especially concerning a provision that would have prevented states from enacting their own AI laws for 10 years. Initially supported by many in Congress and the White House as a means to keep the U.S. competitive against China, this moratorium faced fierce opposition from conservative factions wary of big tech and eager to maintain state-level control over emerging technologies. The debate revealed a deep rift. Some conservatives, including prominent figures like Senator Marsha Blackburn, argued that states should have the freedom to regulate AI to protect citizens, while others, including tech advocates and the White House, favored a federal approach. Ultimately, the provision was removed in a near-unanimous Senate vote, illustrating the growing tension within the GOP over balancing innovation, national security, and distrust of big technology firms. The AP reports from Boston that Massachusetts, often seen as the model for Obamacare, faces threats to its health insurance system from the Trump administration's legislative efforts. Proposals in Congress could strip coverage from hundreds of thousands of residents, particularly impacting immigrant communities and low-income populations who rely on the state's Medicaid and health exchange programs. Advocates fear that new documentation requirements and restrictions on immigration status will cause many to lose access to affordable care, undoing years of progress in reducing uninsured rates. The potential rollback not only jeopardizes individual health but also risks destabilizing the state's healthcare infrastructure, with concerns that trust in the system may erode, leading to broader economic and social repercussions. The South China Morning Post vividly details the Philippines' strategic pivot towards a unified, one-theater approach in its maritime security, aligning with Japan, the United States, South Korea, and Australia to counter China's expanding influence in the East and South China Seas. Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro emphasizes that this concept fosters operational synergy, intelligence sharing, and mutual reinforcement, effectively treating the maritime regions as a single front. Japan's Defense Minister Gen Nakatani's proposal for a similar approach, which excludes the Korean peninsula, underscores a regional effort to strengthen defense cooperation amid ongoing tensions with China over disputed territories, such as the East China Sea's gas fields and the Senkaku Islands. This strategy is reinforced by operational units like Japan's Joint Operations Command and a new coordinating center for the Squad, aiming to institutionalize joint activities, enhance maritime domain awareness, and bolster collective defense, ultimately formalizing a regional security architecture that recognizes shared threats and promotes interoperability among allies. Yahoo US reports on the evolving application process for federal broadband grants under the Biden-era infrastructure plan, now undergoing significant changes under the Trump administration's review. New Mexico, which is set to receive $675 million, faces an additional application round due to revised federal requirements that eliminate previous priorities favoring fiber technology and impose fewer administrative burdens. These adjustments aim to foster more competition among broadband providers by allowing all technologies to compete equally, but critics like Senator Ben Ray Lujan argue that the new guidance undermines the original legislative intent by reducing flexibility and increasing red tape. The shift reflects a broader political debate over infrastructure priorities, with Republicans advocating for streamlined processes and technology neutrality, while Democrats emphasize the importance of maintaining targeted investments to ensure universal high-speed internet access across underserved areas, highlighting ongoing tensions over federal oversight and regional implementation. Australian Broadcasting Corporation vividly captures the complex rise and fall of Sean "Diddy" Combs, illustrating his journey from Harlem's streets to the pinnacle of hip-hop and entertainment fame. Born in Harlem and raised in Mount Vernon after his father's tragic death, Combs's early ambitions in business and music led him to drop out of Howard University and plunge into New York's vibrant music scene. His founding of Bad Boy Records and early success with artists like the Notorious B.I.G. thrust him into the heart of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, culminating in Biggie's tragic murder. Combs's legendary parties and cultural influence made him a symbol of New York's nightlife, but allegations of sexual misconduct, drug use, and organized crime cast a shadow over his reputation. Despite being acquitted of serious charges like racketeering and sex trafficking, the legal battles and civil suits reveal a complicated legacy, with his once mighty empire facing scrutiny amid a media frenzy that turns his dramatic downfall into a spectacle of fame, power, and controversy. South China Morning Post highlights Armenia's strategic pivot towards China, emphasizing its eagerness to deepen bilateral relations without restrictions. Armenian Foreign Minister Ararat Mirzoyan articulated a desire to elevate their partnership to a strategic level, reflecting Armenia's broader foreign policy shift post-Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, seeking diversification away from Russia. Mirzoyan's visit to Beijing and talks with Chinese officials underscore Armenia's intent to foster stronger ties not only in trade and infrastructure but also in cultural exchanges, viewing China's Belt and Road Initiative as integral to Armenia's regional connectivity plans. The article underscores Armenia's efforts to normalize relations with its neighbors, including Azerbaijan and Turkey, amid regional tensions and shifting influence in the South Caucasus, where global powers like China and Russia vie for influence. Armenia's move to join the EU, BRICS, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization signals its strategic realignment, with the Crossroads of Peace initiative aiming to connect Armenia's infrastructure ambitions with China's expansive Belt and Road network, potentially transforming regional dynamics and boosting Armenia's geopolitical standing. Yahoo US discusses the procedural intricacies of the US House of Representatives, particularly what occurs when a vote results in a tie. The article recounts a notable incident in February 2024, where a tie vote of 215 to 215 in the House was resolved through procedural maneuvers, but it raises the broader question of the implications of such deadlocks. Unlike the Senate, where the vice president can cast a tie-breaking vote, the House has no such mechanism. A tied vote simply results in the question being lost. This procedural rule underscores the potential for legislative gridlock, especially given the slim Republican majority and the likelihood of defections. The article illustrates the significance of tie votes, emphasizing that in the House, a deadlock can effectively halt legislative progress without an immediate resolution, highlighting the importance of party discipline and strategic voting in a closely divided chamber. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Waking up to wonders, tech and nature blunders. Got our rockets flying while the oceans are sighing. Lasers in the sky.